Hello, I'm Coach Natalie, and welcome to another episode of Jiu Jitsu for Dummies. Today we're going to work on the armbar from Spider Guard. Now, we've covered Spider Guard before a couple of weeks ago when we learned the triangle and the very same setup as what we're going to be using today. In this case, my dummy is going to be kind of on her hands and knees, what we call the turtle. And I'm going to be in what we call the beach position. I'll do it from this angle and then move to another angle. So let's check it out. Again, okay, let's check it out. Now, this Spider Guard is when the person who's doing the jiu-jitsu is on the bottom, their partner is standing up on their hands and knees, and you're controlling them using their sleeves. They kind of are, pulled around kind of like a marionette. So let's talk about the different stages of doing this armbar. It's actually a pretty simple movement. First, as I mentioned, your partner's going to be on their hands and knees. Now, I'm going to be what we call the beach position, just kind of hanging out, casual, like you're at the beach. At a certain point, I'm going to scooch forward and grab my dummy's cuffs. Now, you can use a cuff grip, but I also like to use something that's what we call the pistol grip. So, leaning backwards, I'm going to put both of my toes on the inside of Sally's elbows. You can see that when you do the Spider Guard, one leg's more extended than the other. Now, at a certain point, I'm going to take the leg that's less extended and put it to the left of Sally's head. I'm going to take the leg that was more extended and reach it through, pull her arm close to me, put my leg over the other side of her head, and with one move, I'm going to kind of bounce onto my shoulders and tip myself so I'm facing at a 90 degrees from my current position. Something like this. Now, it'll look very much like arm bars we've seen in the past. I want my bottom to be pretty close to the bottom person here. I like her thumb, you know, to be pointing up towards the ceiling. I want to grab one elbow, and I want to grab, you know, one wrist. And pinching my knees together very slowly, 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 until I get the tap. Seen from a second angle. Again, Natalie's here, kind of on her hands and knees. Obviously, if you were doing this with the real person, she'd have more stability. So, something like this. Maybe this will work. Now I'm sitting here. Again, what we call the beach position. I'm going to scoot up and grabbing both of her cuffs. Again, kind of a pistol grip. I'm going to lean back and put my toes on the inside of her elbows. Now, one leg can expand, the other leg is bent. Then I can play around a little bit this way. At a certain point, the leg that is bent is going to go onto the side of her head. You'll notice that my toes are kind of flexing to make the best hook possible. The other arm, I'm going to pull towards me as I move this leg over. And now I'm going to rock onto my shoulders and get to what we call an armbar. Now, once this foot is down on the floor, I can let go of this arm. Again, secure the wrist, secure the elbow. I'm going to pinch both my knees together, just like a regular armbar. Her thumb is going to be pointing up towards the ceiling if she had thumbs. That way I know it's the proper orientation. And tap. So, this is pretty simple, but there's a couple of mistakes that I've learned I'd like to pass on to you. First of all, when you are moving her arms with your feet, you don't want your feet to get accidentally caught in her gi sleeve. So I've noticed that it's most helpful if I'm just controlling her legs with my toes. And another mistake would be, you know, as I was mentioning, the problem if you, when you're doing the arm bar, you know, her thumb isn't upright. You're not pinching your knees. You're basically controlling her because you're pulling down on her and she's resting on your shin. And that keeps her upright. And then the final mistake would be to get to the armbar, you actually need one of your legs to be, you know, across her neck. So that's why, even though you start with her face onwards, at a certain point you have to rock back and then pivot, you know, 90 degrees, so that you can get the armbar. So let's try it one more time. Again, it's kind of on her hands and knees. I'm hanging out here at the beach, scooting forward, grab her cuffs, pistol grip, spider guard. So you see, I don't have my whole foot on her arm. I just have my toes. One leg's out, one leg's in. At a certain point, the bent leg goes over, hooks her head. Now I'm still pulling her towards me, and that's keeping her upright. Now I'm going to rock backwards and get to a 90 degrees. Now, once my foot's securely on the floor, pinch the arms, elbow, wrist, your thumb is up. And that is the armbar from Spider Guard. Now, putting together this lesson taught me a lot about stability. Now, you may know, or maybe you don't, that the symbol for Jiu Jitsu is a pyramid, because pyramid's a very stable shape. You know, it's not liable to fall over, that kind of thing. And there's a lot of Spider Guards out there that they show that you're doing it with a real person. Well, a real person partner will usually have their own stability. They'll be 150 pounds. They'll be a real person, so they're, you know, motivated to not, you know, want to fall over. Now, Sally here, she weighs more than your average dummy, but she's still only 35 pounds. And she, as you can see, was more than happy to want to fall over. So really, in identifying this version of the armbar from Spider Guard, I really also picked it because it really forces you to have your own stability. You can't control other people, you know, if you can't control yourself. And so, you know, by you know, balancing on your shoulders, putting one leg around one neck, pulling the arm, extending your own leg, and throwing it over her face, and then turning yourself on your own shoulders, it gives you a chance to practice your own stability. And obviously, you know, if it works against a dummy who, you know, happy to fall over, you know, you can use that stability when you're actually doing this against a real person, and obviously against, you know, more advanced techniques, you know, in the future. So give it a try. I welcome you to visit me. I have a Natalie Woodson Jiu Jitsu page. Reach out to me. Looking forward to 2 episodes from now. It'll be our 40th episode. It'll in fact be exactly, you know, 1 year since we started these series. So if you have an idea for me, love to hear it. Maybe we'll make you the star of a future video. If you can, you know, suggest a move, we'll be happy to give you credit. And thank you for joining me for this episode of Jiu Jitsu for Dummies.